Welcome to my video exploring my final major project titled Synaesthesia. In this video I will explore some of the concepts of synaesthesia, and then I'll explore 4 of the libraries in which I built for the app. To explain, Synaesthesia is an Android application which translates color inputs from the phone's camera into audio outputs. I wanted an app which integrated augmented reality and the ability to use virtual reality headsets for minimal user interaction. The app itself is based on a neural condition known as synaesthesia, hence its name, in which sufferers experience different perceived senses from actual interaction. A common example of this and the foundation of the application is color to audio, which is known as chromesthesia. With synaesthesia, I hope to achieve an artistic representation of the condition, which can be expanded on indefinitely. So right now I'm going to load up the app. During this part of the video, I will be scrolling through the About section, so you can pause the video and read along if you so wish. If you'd like to jump straight to the libraries in action, skip to about 3 minutes 30. So without getting too much into how I built the app, just a very brief overview. The prototype was built in Max MSP. I then took it over to Unity to start building a more integrated, fully functional application which can be used in like augmented reality. I also used Audio Kinetics Wise for the audio implementation. For the purpose of this submission, I will be blurring out names associated with me in building the app. So now let's take a look at some of the libraries that I built for the app. So first up is the basic. The basic is just a very simple piano melody which is looped indefinitely. The colors that are picked up using the camera dictate the amount of wet level of reverb. This was just a very simple way to show interaction between the audio output and the colors actually being detected by the camera. So the 808 is based on the Roland TR-808 drum machine. There are 5 positions on the screen which are detecting colors, one of which is dedicated to the hi-hat, one is kick drum and one is snare. Depending on the color that is picked up, a different pattern will play for each instrument. The other two positions affect reverb level and pitch. By doing so, you can get some really weird sounds. So Once Upon a Time explores how the app can be used for something other than just creating weird sounds. It is an evolving story which comes with a companion book which you'll see in the video demo. Once Upon a Time is structured like a fairy tale. The book is narrated in your headphones, and as you reach certain parts of the story, the user is suggested to look at a colour. Depending on the colour picked up by the user, certain plot elements will begin to change.
Once upon a time in the far-off land of Nasculus, there lived a young girl named Nova. Nova looked around. She noticed a withered leaf on the ground. "How strange," she muttered to herself. "It is springtime. Why are the leaves dying already?" "Help! Get it off me!" screamed a fox, scrambling through the bushes with a chain caught round its tail. Nova looked around at her beloved forest, noticing the tiny signs of life fading. "I will," she said, reaching for the pendant. "I must." Nova's fingers stretched out to touch the glass pendant on the golden chain, but before she could grasp it, it made a loud hissing noise and burned her fingertips, knocking her to the ground in pain. From behind a bush, Nova could see what appeared to be 100 eyes staring at her. "Who's there?" she called out, sucking her burnt finger. A peacock burst through the bushes and, upon noticing Nova, withdrew his plumage. Nova and Amity walked for miles and miles, determined to get the heart of nature back to the great willow. The closer they approached their goal, the gloomier the forest became. Flowers wilted, and what was once green had faded to brown. Suddenly, a huge lightning bolt struck a nearby tree. Nova and Amity screamed in horror as the tree split into ash and fire. "Get back!" screamed Amity as Nova retreated. "There is no way..."
Eno Twin was the first library I built for Synaesthesia. I drew inspiration from two of my favourite composers, Brian Eno and Aphex Twin. In Eno Twin, which works really well in AR, there are 5 points on the screen. Each point on the screen is dedicated to an instrument or a sound. So for example, there is piano, pad, percussion, bass, and sound effects. Depending on the colour that is picked up, it can either change the pattern or it can change a variety of effects. Similarly to Once Upon a Time, in terms of variation, there are more than 32,000 ways in which the sounds can be played in your headphones. Speaking of which, headphones is by far the most ideal way to experience the app. As you may be able to tell from the demos in which I recorded, the Samsung that I used was only recording from the microphone, so the audio quality is sort of lost in these demos, I'm afraid. Alright, let's just not look that way. So that's it. Thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. I hope you enjoyed the concept of synesthesia. Thank you.